Good evening,
Hold on a minute, you Carlito lookalike wannabe. Thank you, wrestling fans, for joining us. I am Louis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
And I'm Jay, the heel kid of pro wrestling.
And this is Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Thank you for joining us, wrestling fans, for another exciting episode. Tonight, we are going to be bringing to you history in the making. And the first person to join us is our my lovely wife and producer and director, Yesenia. Thank you for joining us, honey, your stepmom. Tonight is going to be an amazing series, starting with part one. Hey, yo, James, what's going on, brother? Tonight, we are going to have the Legacy of Wrestlemania. 4-part series going on. Tonight, we're going to start off with 9 amazing WrestleManias. But before we get into the Legacy of WrestleMania, we are going to get to top news. Jaden, Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out of WWE. What the hell happened?
Man.
Oh, but by the way, hold on. Before we continue, what's going on, Clifford? Before we continue, just to let everybody know that our motto is no politics, no bullshit, straight pro wrestling. So let's talk pro wrestling. We're talking pro wrestling. Jaden, Sasha Banks and Naomi, what the hell happened? Was it wrong that what they did? Was it right what they did? Tell me your thoughts.
People are probably going to already start disagreeing with me, but I 100% back them up for what they did. I mean, let's face facts. It was bad for business on the way that they did it, but let's be honest. WWE's booking is right now. WWE's booking is not good right now, but they weren't happy with the way they were booked. They're getting in one match for their tag team champs, and they're getting into the same match. That doesn't make any sense. That booking is ridiculous. Like I said, the booking is not that great, so they did what they did, and I 100% back them up for it because, hey, they understand the booking is not that great either.
Yeah, but the thing is that Sasha complains too much. Like,
she complains.
I understand that if you're going to complain, all right. The six-pack challenge was stupid. Yeah. That made no damn sense.
I didn't get it.
Like,
either.
For you to think of something like that, they definitely stood up for themselves. Because you're doing a six-pack challenge. You're putting 2 tag team champions in a six-pack challenge.
That makes no sense.
They're tag team champions. You're making the tag team titles irrelevant, and then now word has it that Vince McMahon is slowly gonna eliminate the women's tag team titles. Like, not for nothing, as of late, the women have been putting on more of a show than the men.
It seems like he's just doing the opposite now. Instead of making it better, he's just destroying it.
Listen, Vince McMahon needs to step down. He has to step down. He gotta go. I'm telling you, you can't.
I'm not saying die. No,
you gotta retire.
You gotta go.
Retire.
You gotta go.
It's like, I don't understand. Like, you're making the women in WWE irrelevant, which is ridiculous because for the past couple of years, every single event that brought the women, into the pay-per-view, they've been extravagant. I'm getting so excited. I'm choking on my own saliva. They've been extravagant. So why put them on against each other? Hey, what's going on, Jose? Welcome, brother. Welcome. I think it's one of the hosts of Ricas of Wrestling. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, Stephanie McMahon is leaving too.
I think it's due to her father as well.
Supposedly it said it's family. Supposedly it's family.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a family issue.
Her father. They said it's a family issue, but I think it's more than that. Like, I don't even think Stephanie is happy with the booking.
No, nobody is happy by the way Vince McMahon is handling the situation with this women's division.
I wouldn't put Stephanie in charge of WWE either, so...
No, I would.
I wouldn't.
I would. She has the brains for it.
She
was the one that came up with the women's evolution. Like, come on now.
I mean, what else does she do other than that, though?
Listen, she does a lot. She does a lot of charity stuff. She does a lot for the business. She maintains the money. There's many things that Stephanie McMahon does in this business. But, like I said, the way Vince McMahon is running his business right now, it's
nothing wrong with her prioritizing and taking care of her family. Absolutely.
Prioritizing, sir. Jeez.
I have a problem saying that word sometimes.
Prioritizing. Thank you. Thank you.
Prioritizing. There we go. I said it right.
This is the heel kick.
It's a big word, okay?
Anyway, Bradley, what's going on, brother? Welcome. One of our loyal friends. One of our loyal fans. Thank you. You just walked in. I'm glad you just came into the perfect timing. And yes, I agree. Clifford, I agree too. Because I understand Sasha complains a lot, but
that's bad. That's just bad.
It's like,
that's just.
Well, Jose says no need to look too hard into it. She has no power in booking. It's simply as a family thing. She is chief brand officer and does a ton of behind the scenes. Absolutely. And listen, Vince McMahon supposedly wants to disband NXT.
Why?
Because it's.
Why didn't he let Triple H keep? Oh.
Because Triple H can't. At this moment, Triple H can't do anything. He can't do nothing. You know, he's just had cardiac issues, so he's not going to put himself through the stress of working on the Vince McMahon again.
I blame Vince for that.
You know what I mean? And
I blame Vince for that.
What's not true, Jose? He said probably what I mentioned is not true.
Yeah.
So he's not. And if he does,
NXT ratings
they're very low. They're very low because Vince McMahon took over.
Look at what he did. Look at what he did to NXT.
Well,
this man destroyed NXT.
Well, you're bringing stars from your main roster down to NXT. You need the ratings boost.
You do need the ratings boost.
So, but
that's what I'm saying. I really wish that he would have just kept Triple H take over NXT because it was so good. They have $1 billion in the NIL program
and pouring money
and revamp.
Gotcha.
Give it to Stephanie, might help or something, or even Shawn Michaels.
Well,
I feel like somebody could.
We got I forgot to mention Jose is currently a newscaster for Sports Kia.
Oh, congratulations!
He does a lot of the behind the scenes. He was at WrestleMania interviewing stars and stuff like that. He said, plus they reported $1 billion in revenue. That's a lot of damn money.
That is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. But that's what I'm saying. Why, if they're making all this money, why all the cuts?
Yeah.
Why all the cuts? I don't understand. If you got all this money, you're making all this stuff. Why are there so many cuts? That makes no sense to me.
So they obviously know what's going on. Yeah, they clearly do.
Of course, they clearly know what's going on.
I don't think they care anymore.
Listen. Their booking has to change. You're gonna lose $1 billion company. You're gonna lose a lot of fans, even though they're still gonna make a shitload of money anyway. Yeah. So, but I don't know, man. It's just an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
But speaking of accident, Bryan Danielson apparently had a freak accident at a match.
Oh.
That he got his leg caught inside the ring. You know where the ring stairway is, in there for about maybe 10 minutes, and he couldn't move. And apparently they thought it was a work, but it wasn't. It was actually
he got stuck.
He got stuck, and people were really concerned about his health. So it's all to inflate what's on paper to look good. Of course, listen, WWE will say anything to make themselves look good. They will promote anything to make them look good. But eventually, at the end of the day, it's Vince McMahon who is.
It was 2 minutes for real.
Yeah, that was with Bryan Danielson. Like it was crazy. Like people were like, "Holy shit, what the hell happened here?" And they're like, "Okay, let's give him a hand." Talent started coming out. Like, okay, you know. But it was a pretty good match with AE.
It will work out for WWE. I said by Survivor Series, Vince will bounce back. I doubt it.
It's possible.
I got low doubts.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. This WrestleMania that just passed was really good. It was
okay.
Good. It was really good.
I'll give that one.
It was good.
You know, look. To be honest, though, I don't think that was just the mind of Vince McMahon, though. Like that whole WrestleMania, I think there could have been somebody helping him. I don't know why, but I just can't bring myself to believe that Vince McMahon pulled that off by himself. I can't think that anymore.
It's possible
with Raw, with everything going on, or with the recent things that's been going on. I can't think to believe that Vince McMahon casted all of WrestleMania by himself.
Well,
I just can't think that anymore.
Well, he if you got Bruce Pritchard working with you, maybe he could pull something out of the hat here and there. Okay. But he's been slacking too. He's been slacking
There's
too.
been
Like,
a lot of people that's been slacking in the wrestling.
Well,
Look at AEW.
well, no. But AEW kind of pulled it off. He said you can blame Nick Khan for what's going on with the cuts and everything. The majority of the deals we know about today is all because of Nick. Of course, Nick Khan wants to cut money like crazy, especially if word has it that he's supposed to take over when Vince McMahon retires or whatever.
I hope he doesn't take over, man.
He said Austin McAfee, the others helped build that up. Of course they built up NXT.
Yeah.
They built all that stuff. But Vince McMahon wants to tear it down. You know what I mean? And you mentioned AEW. AEW actually pulled the rabbit out of the hat yesterday, having the Joker to be revealed as Johnny Elite, formerly known as John Morrison, fighting against Samoa Joe at the Owen Hart.
That was a pretty good. I heard that was a pretty good match.
That was a good match. No, Undertaker's not coming back. He can leave that shit out the window.
Maybe it's time for Undertaker to come out.
He is not coming back. Undertaker already said it. I'm done. I'm retired.
He's retired, but I could see him running NXT though. I could see Undertaker doing that. I could see it.
Many people would talk, well, let's bring him back as a special counsel for Roman Reigns and
Roman Reigns.
No, there was actually people talking about that.
Roman Reigns.
There was people actually talking about that.
The bloodline. What you need Undertaker for?
Well, speaking of that, here's a question by Clifford. What do you think happens to the company after Roman Reigns leaves? Who gets the championship?
Brock.
That's a very interesting question.
Brock.
That would be stupid. That would be utterly
we should all know that's destined to happen. Brock.
That would be dumb. That would be completely dumb.
Now, okay, if we subtract him, who do you want to have the title? Or do you want somebody to have do you want somebody to have the unification title, or somebody with one and somebody with another?
I would say give the title to Drew McIntyre.
And what about the Universal title?
Give him both. Give him. I
could see that.
Give him the run that he deserves, since he did not win WrestleMania in front of the fans.
He didn't, and I wish he would have, man.
And speaking of the fans, apparently Ric Flair has been cleared to wrestle one more match at the age of 73.
I heard Ricky Steamboat.
No, he declined. He declined, but it would have been
awesome. Would have been awesome.
It would have been interesting to see.
Now, who is he gonna wrestle now?
Nobody knows. But my question is, why?
Who next for Judgment Day? Some say Finn.
Well, there was a picture that Edge posted up about Paige. She's retired, but is she gonna join Judgment Day?
Maybe. I want the Fiend to return.
The Fiend ain't gonna return. That'll be a miracle if the Fiend were to return.
I think he could.
It would take a lot for the Fiend to return.
I think he might. He could.
Cena returns for SummerSlam. I like Cena, but I think it's time to hang it up. Stick to the movie career and let others progress.
Time to hang up the boots.
There's not.
Isn't Cena tied with like Ric Flair for having like the most?
Yeah, he is for the most world titles. For the most world titles, and it's going to be interesting to see, because supposedly they wanted to put the title on him when Roman left, and then have Randy Orton beat John Cena.
I could see that. That is, they had him and John Cena had a pretty cool rivalry.
Oh yeah. Those two always had a good rivalry.
John Cena and Randy Orton, they've always had,
they need to
for sure
turn either Orton heel or something.
I want Matt Riddle to be a heel. Like,
well, I
want to see something different, because I feel like Randy Orton is at that time in his career where he could just rock out any kind of character. He could be a babyface, he can be a heel. Anything you give him, as long as you stick to the Viper, he'll be fine. But I really do want to see Matt Riddle as a heel. Technically, Flair has more than 16. By I guess by technicality, you're right, but
somewhat. You could say that.
I mean, if we're counting maybe out of WWE, maybe, but I guess like they don't count those other titles, so in WWE he has 16 or technically.
Now, who would you guys think he should take on?
I don't know. Ric Flair can still wrestle a little bit, don't get me wrong, but
no, he's definitely won numerous titles. I've seen the Wikipedia. He's won more than 16 titles. That man has done it all.
But I don't know who he should fight.
Flair is the greatest of all time. Ken, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Welcome.
Bold statement there.
That's a very bold statement because you know what? A lot of people know who was the greatest of all time. Some say Stone Cold, some say Hulk Hogan, some say The Rock.
Maybe. Not Hulk Hogan,
no. Don't hate.
Not Hulk Hogan.
Don't hate.
Not Hulk Hogan.
Okay, listen.
Not flappy leg drop, okay?
Listen. When you talk about Hulk Hogan, you talk about greatness. And when I mean greatness is what's going to bring us to our topic of the night.
Oh, yeah.
The Legacy of Wrestlemania 4-part series.
The grandest stage of them all.
WrestleMania is the grandest stage of them all. For the Super Bowl of wrestling.
Exactly. The finals.
Many things have happened at WrestleMania. Many moments, many controversy, many matches, rivalries.
A lot.
And we're going to start it off with WrestleMania 1 through 9. Many great matches in all WrestleMania. He said, you make fun of Hulk Hogan. How about four move reigns?
Hey, listen, I'm not.
Listen.
I'm not knocking. I'm not.
Listen, Ken. Ken, I know you're a fan. But you don't want the producer and director on you. She's a fan of Roman Reigns. And don't tease in Roman, because
Roman don't got no 4 moves. Roman can be very versatile in the ring.
Of course he can be very versatile.
Roman can be versatile in the ring, but Roman is at his prime now.
No, right now he is at his prime.
Roman does not need to show off what he can do anymore.
WrestleMania 17 was the best.
WrestleMania 17 was pretty good.
Well, to be honest, I'm gonna do a giveaway. We were doing a poll of which was the greatest WrestleMania event of all time.
Okay.
WrestleMania 17 won that vote. So, Spear Hogan might kill Hogan. Well, WrestleMania, the person that actually came up with WrestleMania was Howard Finkel. Howard Finkel. They were backstage. Okay, let's come up with an extravaganza. Let's come up with something big. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then he said, WrestleMania. You know, like how fake. God rest his soul. You know how
that's really how he talks, though.
And he came, and the way
WrestleMania.
Yeah, the way the show was booked. The way the show was booked at WrestleMania 17 was definitely thick.
Your Howard Finkel impression was so funny. WrestleMania.
You know what I mean? And he actually came out with it, and Vince pretty much rolled the dice with this WrestleMania. You had stars like Liberace. You had referee Muhammad Ali, Cyndi Lauper,
Mr. T.
Back then, one of the top TV show stars at that time.
Roddy Piper hated him.
But Piper couldn't stand him. He hated him.
Wasn't it like the reason because he thought
he could not stand?
Yeah, he just couldn't.
Mean Gene, of course I remember Mean
Gene.
Whew. Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. All the time. Mean Gene Oakland. Just like Ric Flair. Mean! Woo! My God, Gene. and it was a good show.
Yeah.
You know, but WrestleMania 1 had Hulk Hogan and Mr. T against Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff.
Yes.
These two teams changed the business forever. WrestleMania 1 was the WWE's answer to the original NWA Starrcade. What WrestleMania did was eclipse the production and launch the destiny. Of course.
Right.
That WrestleMania changed professional wrestling forever.
It did.
When you had movie stars, you had actors. You also had a match with Andre the Giant and Big John Studd. A $15,000 challenge. If Andre the Giant body slammed Big John Studd, he would get $15,000. He got the money. Shit, damn it. So he slammed him.
Ow.
And he proved who was the true giant. But again, back to that match. That match, you can feel the intensity and the hatred between Piper and Mr. T.
Yeah, Piper really hated that.
And then Muhammad Ali wanted to really fight those guys for going after Billy Martin, the ring announcer. He was also the ring announcer. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, yo, this
Yeah,
guy,
it was a lot of
like,
chaos in that.
a lot of chaos.
I'm not even gonna lie. WrestleMania 1 was a huge success.
Oh,
but
yeah, no,
like,
no, but that's what I'm saying.
if only people knew that was actually real at the time.
No, but that's what I'm
like,
saying. That they said it. Vince rolled the dice with this. That if anything, if he failed, his company was done.
Yeah, that was it.
And he actually made a shitload of money. Like, damn,
he got some money.
And then, and all the Hollywood president athletes of WrestleMania 2 just made it bigger. Absolutely, WrestleMania 2 was just as bigger.
Made it bigger, yeah.
Tommy Lasorda. Who else? Elvira. There
was a lot.
So
It
many.
was a lot of them.
There was so many. Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
Joan Rivers was there.
I seen
a lot of football players in a battle royal in WrestleMania. I forgot where, in which state they were having a 20-man battle royal. Three cities in one night. I think it was New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago.
Wasn't that where the first WrestleMania was? Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
The world's famous arena.
Yes.
Madison Square Garden. And this one was even better. Because you had 3 main events in three different WrestleManias.
Yeah.
You had Andre the Giant in a battle royal, winning the battle royal.
I remember that.
That was in one state.
Yep.
You had Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy in a steel cage match. I believe that was in New York or Los Angeles. And then you had Mr. T and Roddy Piper in a boxing match, which was the shittiest boxing match I've ever seen. How the hell? Listen, I'm a huge fan of Mr. T in 18. But how the hell you miss a punch in? They're like, yo, like even Piper said it. He said he went for the punch and he missed. He missed. And he even said it. I'd rather you knock my damn teeth down my throat than hit me with a popcorn punch. And he was pissed. Like, come on now, Mr. T. You're an actor. You should know this shit, man. And it was terrible.
I was watching that.
It was terrible. And then what pissed me, he had to get some momentum. He has to get some momentum in this thing. So Roddy Piper took the chair and launched that shit at him. Like literally launched it. Like
to get him
amped up. Like get him going. Like come on, man,
he just fumbled a punch. That was
bad. That was bad. Like I'm like, oh my god.
Oh god.
Like like that wasn't good at all.
That is too funny.
And the thing is, and then to top it off, Piper didn't have thumbs to grab the rope, so he had to go straight through into the ring, straight through outside the ring. And I'm like, oh shit,
this is gonna be bad.
Like this is gonna be bad. Like this is gonna be bad. And it was a real bad boxing match. They put this man through a training to lose weight to box this man. Why?
That's too much.
And then also you had, and then the other match, that match was terrible. That main event was terrible. But then you had the battle royal.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that Andre the Giant was the king of the battle royals.
Yeah,
he was the king of the battle royals. Yep.
They have a whole battle royal named after him. So
no, they had football players. They had Big John Studd. They had the Hart Foundation, the Killer Bees, Bruno Sammartino.
A lot of people.
They had the refrigerator, William Perry, because they were in Chicago, so they went nuts. And it was a huge success.
It was a huge, yeah.
But then comes WrestleMania 3.
The WrestleMania
3. The body slam. Heard around the world.
A body slam that can never be remade.
Like, oh my god. It was so epic.
I was watching Hulk Hogan talk about that a few days ago. He was like, Andre the Giant was like, slam. I'm like, oh, so this is where the notorious slam came from. And it was like, coming from like a young wrestling fan like me, I didn't know how notorious the slam was until like it got narrated into a story. So it was like, this slam was something serious because like this happened at the 3rd WrestleMania and then that's when, everything went extremely high from there for WWE. So
no, I definitely went.
That was the slam of a lifetime.
No, it was definitely the slam of a lifetime. Like back then,
looks so easy.
You knew that at that time, Hulk Hogan's character was just.
The moment I seen him like try to clothesline Andre the Giant and they both fell over was the moment I was like, yeah, something big is gonna happen.
Of course,
soon.
okay. Here you hear Hulk Hogan talking about this. Okay, Hulk Hogan is up. He's talking about it. This was Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
He tells him, slam. Holy shit. He called slam. He came up. He got him. Look at it. Just like that. No help or nothing.
No help or nothing.
And look at the crowd. They went nuts.
He really picked him up.
He dropped him. Leg drop. Boom. And you see the crowd. The crowd is going nuts. You see them going nuts when he drops that leg drop. Look at it. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. You can't tell me this was not a historic moment in professional wrestling. Wow. Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant and winning the match
against Andre the Giant. That's crazy, man.
Like, come on.
That was truly a historical moment right there. All the
main events to this day are judged against Hogan versus Andre. Because it was...
Andre got hurt in this match?
Well, he was hurt. Andre was hurt.
He had back surgery. He had back problems.
He had back surgery, and he was limited.
Yeah.
But for
it
what
was
limited,
still a good match.
They pretty much, they let him dominate.
Yep.
They let him dominate the entire match.
I was about to say, it was a really great match for him having back surgery, because that match made history for WrestleMania and the wrestling business, so... Even with his back problems, it was an amazing match. So, I give it all the credits with this.
No, listen. It was something that you see today that you don't see today. You don't see moments like that in WrestleMania anymore.
Nope.
At all. Nope. You know what I mean? But what also was a moment in WrestleMania 3, which to this day, and I'm gonna keep saying it. And saying it.
All right, I heard you.
And saying it. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Macho Man Randy Savage, greatest WrestleMania match of all time.
You had to tell me that by tapping my shoulder 24/7?
Yes.
Can you just said that to the screen?
No.
You had to what's up? What, you got beef with my shoulder? Poor shoulder. God. That is not funny.
It's okay. You'll be all right, son.
It hurt.
What hurt?
My shoulder.
You'll be all right. You're the heel kid, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm untouchable.
Untouchable.
You hear this guy right
here?
Sure.
Untouchable.
This guy?
Untouchable.
Hear this encyclopedia here?
That's right. The Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, I'm the heel kid of pro wrestling.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Macho Man Randy Savage, two of the greatest of all time. To this day, yes, exactly. Match of all time.
Debatable.
Why is that debatable?
Debatable.
We gonna go through this again? Do you not? Okay.
Debatable.
I'm gonna prove him wrong come the award show.
Debatable.
Anyway, that was a historic match. Like, literally, Macho Man rolled down, count for count. 1, body slam. 2, clothesline. 3, yada yada. Like,
it was a great match.
It was a great match, but
it's still debatable.
He drove Ricky the Dragon Steamboat nuts. Like, Ricky said it. He drove me insane. He drove me fucking insane. Excuse me. I dropped the F-bomb. Sorry. It's TV-14, but...
TV-14. I mean, it's alright to say that a few... You know, everyone never now and then, you know.
Like, damn. But it was an excellent match.
Yeah.
It was an excellent match. But Macho Man got his time to shine when WrestleMania 4 came. WrestleMania 4, due to what happened, there was... Okay, so let me tell you why the title was vacant. Hulk Hogan had beat Andre the Giant, WrestleMania. You know, he held the title, kept the title. He had a rematch against Andre the Giant at Saturday night's main event. There were 2 referees. Twin referees. And one was working for the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Paid him off to two referees. And he pinned Hogan.
He won the title.
And he won the title. Then Andre the Giant gave the title to the $1 Million Man. So that didn't fly right with the president of WWE, Jack Tunney.
Right.
He said, "Oh, we're going to do this interview. We're going to do this tournament, World Wrestling Federation Championship. At the Trump Plaza of WrestleMania.
Why did people sound like that back in the day?
You know, and he did it. He did David and Earl Hebner. David and Earl Hebner. The one that screwed Bret Hart.
Oh. Yeah, referee.
Yeah.
Wait, he had a twin? I didn't know that.
He had a twin.
I didn't know that.
He had a twin.
Great, now I know.
So they did, so they did it, and they put the title on the line at WrestleMania 4. It was a tournament.
Yep.
Like Macho Man beat One Man Gang. I think he beat Butch Reed and Greg Valentine, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Ted DiBiase beat, I think, Magnificent Morocco, and I forgot who else he beat to advance to the finals. Ted DiBiase had the match won, but Hulk Hogan interfered and hit him with the chair in his back, and Macho Man went up to the top, got the elbow drop, and won the WWE title. And then that's when everything started going straight to the top.
Wild.
Like at that point, it was like they made some money. The Madness met the Mania.
Yeah, I was just about to say
it was epic. As a fan, when you were a small fan, it was, and you see that handshake, like you see, I can't do this, brother. Like, I'm telling you that you gotta see the handshake. Like those two, when they did that handshake. It was epic. Two epic stars at that time. Sherry, they joined for. All right, here we go. Here's the video right here.
I can't with this.
All right, we'll let the ad go.
This is too funny.
No, it was funny. It was funny. Okay, here you go. You got these two. Mean Gene and Saturday Night's main event.
Turning on here on Saturday Night's main event, when
the Madness meets the Mania. Look at this, a nutso. Look at the hand. Look at this. This was epic. See? It was, as a fan, you were hyped.
We just might pull the whole planet up, everybody.
He knew how to do a promo.
But when I hit that ring and I saw what the Madness was all about, I realized there was a whole nother universe out there, a whole nother frontier, and the power of the Madness and the Mania just blew my 24-inch guns out, man.
Oh, man. It was epic. It was epic. Russell Jackson, my brother, welcome. Oh, yeah. Jason, I was hooked. When I saw those two.
Well, see, I wasn't born at that time.
Like, oh my God. Nah, you wasn't even thought of it.
I wasn't even thought of yet. So
I forgot. Let me see. When was that? WrestleMania 5? Before they exploded?
5 was like...
I forgot how old I was when they fought. And when they joined forces. But it was epic. When that handshake happened, you know what would be even more epic? If you fans share our content all over social media, bring your friends, your cousins, anybody into this talk show. We're talking wrestling, no bullshit, no politics, straight pro wrestling. Oh, thank you.
I thought it was the other way around. No.
Don't matter. It don't matter. Politics and bullshit and politics don't matter. Sorry, I'm back. TV 14, guys. TV 14.
Listen, that's what my chest.
TV 14.
Yeah, TV 14.
Okay, let's do it. All right. So yeah, back to that. When you saw that moment, they became the Mega Powers.
Yes.
They were managed by Miss Elizabeth, but as always, they come up with a storyline, putting Macho Man against Hulk Hogan. They putting Macho Man as a heel, brother, because he was jealous of Miss Elizabeth being around Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So we saw it, and we like, okay, here we go. The Mega Powers are about to explode, and then that's when WrestleMania 5 happened. And a lot of the great matches were at WrestleMania 5. There was the return of Roddy Piper. He can't stand Piper. I don't know why. This guy's nuts.
No, I'm not.
You had the I forgot who was it that appeared on Roddy Piper's talk show? I think it was Robert Downey Jr. He was a talk show. He was a jerk.
Name.
He was an asshole of a talk show.
I haven't heard his name in a lot.
But he
you talking about like Iron Man?
No,
Robert Downey Jr.
No.
I'm about to say like that's Iron Man.
It's Morton Downey. I forgot who it was. Yeah, Warrior and Rude. It was an okay match. That match at WrestleMania. It was okay. Probably Warrior did what he was capable of because he was such a muscle man.
Yeah.
You know, fighting with the likes of Radish and Rick Rude, like, he's carrying you. You know, Radish and Rick Rude, God rest his soul, but Warrior was, listen, Warrior made it to the top 2. We're going to get to that soon. But Radish and Rick Rude was one of a kind. And I'm still pissed that he never won the title as a heel.
Yeah.
He should have, because Hulk Hogan, at the time,
he was the
man.
He was the golden child.
He was the golden child. Yeah, exactly. Rude carried Warrior. Rude carried Warrior. And it was terrible. It was terrible. But Warrior was used what he was dealt with. And he did. And he made a name for himself. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The moment you heard his theme song play.
When Hulk Hogan and Macho Man fought at WrestleMania, pretty much the slogan was the Mega Powers explode. And that's what happened. They exploded, and it was a hell of a match. And Hulk Hogan won the title. And then that's when the battle began, the rivalry between Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. And then that's when Beefcake came into the mix. Brutus Beefcake, Zeus.
They had
Debo
had a cage. I think they had a
Debo.
cage match. Yeah, they had a cage match.
Like, Debo was into professional wrestling. God rest his soul.
Give me your chain.
But
I don't remember him as Zeus. I remember him as the person that was trying to take everybody's chain.
Well, he was Zeus. He was Zeus,
yes.
At WrestleMania, but he didn't really do much for his career. So he left. He went to movies.
I mean, there was no point of him staying.
No.
Look at the movies he made. He made like one of the best movies.
Buster Douglas was the referee. I remember that when they fought. Buster Douglas. I think it was a Saturday night main event, and Buster Douglas, I think, knocked out Macho Man. So,
like, for real, or like?
No, it was.
Oh, I'm about to say.
No, it was a fake punch. They don't do that. They wouldn't do that.
Yo, okay.
Not like Floyd Mayweather, like he really freaking punched the shit out of Big Show's nose and broke his shit.
I was about to say, did he really break Big Show's nose?
He broke his nose. He literally broke his nose.
I was surprised Big Show wasn't.
You know, but talking about the Warrior, the Ultimate Warrior finally got his chance at WrestleMania 6.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Challenge.
Yeah.
Title for title.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior.
That match, okay.
That was, to many, one of the biggest matches in WrestleMania magnitude. 2 of the biggest stars in history at that time. 2 of the biggest champions, because the Intercontinental title was the number one. When you were the Intercontinental champion back then, you were considered the number one contender
for the WWE title. Yeah,
and that's what happened. Hulk Hogan accepted his challenge, and Warrior did some freaking promo. Like,
I forgot. Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior used to do some crazy promos. Like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
What were you talking about?
His promos was a little wild.
Excuse me, my ear itched a little bit. Here you go. This is the cockpit promo. Like, I'm like my ears were like, what the hell is this man talking about?
Question to answer.
But
your question.
It actually.
I can't breathe.
WrestleMania. By conventional means.
Take your elbow off the table. You're shaking the table. This was the Ultimate Warrior's promo for WrestleMania.
Malfunctions.
Oh God.
As you realize, all that is left is total self-destruction. Hogan, show self-pity. Do you, Hulk Hogan?
No, they should have never did that match in WCW.
Oh God.
Try and comfort the normals that have even more vehicles. Hulk Hogan, push yourself to total a world
Oh God.
close to parts unknown. Oh, smell it, warriors.
Parts unknown.
Do you, Hulk Hogan, look for a place to hide?
This was the first time these two faces fought at WrestleMania. Fought in the main event. And
Self-destruct. So that you will know, Hulk Hogan.
Sounds like Bane.
Who is?
yeah, I remember that when they teamed up against Mr. Perfect and the Genius at Saturday Night's main event.
Chosen one.
Oh, that was funny.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan. I am not the chosen one. That you speak of.
This man's promos were crazy.
I am not.
Nobody knew what the hell he was talking about. But
Oh god.
they listened. They listened.
That is too funny.
I don't know. But he won. He was the first man ever to be. Hi, Evan. My son
Hi,
Evan is
Evan.
looking at our show. How you doing, son?
Hi, Evan.
So
Oh, that's too funny.
no.
Oh god.
That's what his promos were about. And
That was funny.
but he won. He was the first ever superstar to pin.
I don't even think the Warrior
pin Hulk
understood
Hogan.
either. I don't even think he knew what he was
He was
saying.
the first superstar to cleanly pin Hulk Hogan. Because everybody else that would pin him, they would pin him by
They would pin
cheating
him by
or whatever.
yeah.
But he actually beat him. But the crazy thing is that even after the match, people saw the Ultimate Warrior in the ring, but they were watching Hulk Hogan head back to the dressing room. That tells you something. Gorilla Monsoon said it best. Hulk Hogan lost the title, but Hulk Hogan has taken one giant step to immortality. Nobody wanted Hogan. David says what made Hogan versus Warrior great was after Mania. There wasn't a rematch, left everyone wanting more till Warrior got to big foe himself. He screwed himself. He screwed himself
Big foe?
royally. He folded himself. He folded. Like he didn't care about the business, especially what he did at SummerSlam. That he held Vince McMahon for ransom for money, X amount of dollars, or not, he wouldn't perform.
Didn't he like fire him like right after?
Right after the show.
You're fired. Get out.
But he eventually came back. We'll talk about that later. But Warrior did actually have a pretty interesting match the following WrestleMania. WrestleMania 7. WrestleMania 7, he fought in a career-ending match against the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
So who won that match?
Ultimate Warrior. The Macho Man's career was done, but surprisingly, the match was good.
So like, was that like Macho Man's like final match? Like
That was his.
actually,
That,
like-
no.
Oh, okay.
It was his because he got married to Miss Elizabeth. He got
Oh,
married
that
to-
was a real thing.
that
Like,
was
they
a real
actually
thing.
got
They
married.
actually got married. They were husband and wife. He went to commentary for a little while until he got attacked by Jake the Snake. Jake the Snake called him out,
so
and
that's
when he
why
got bit
that
by that
match
snake. That's when that
happened.
match happened. He said,
Ah.
"Brother, you better make sure the snake is fixed."
That's what he said.
Excuse me. Did you see the documentary?
No.
He said, "Why don't you bite it?" No, because there was a documentary in Dark Side of the Ring
I have to watch that.
that they had the match. Remember, he said that. I remember I told you that Jake the Snake paintbrushed the shit out of the snake and it
yeah,
bit
he
Macho Man,
slapped Snake.
and it was crazy. But in that match, Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior did actually put on a good match.
Good match.
And it was good.
Yep.
Everybody liked it. It was a real highlight of the match. And WrestleMania 7 alone was a good
Was great.
card. You
Yep.
had the Hart Foundation against the Nasty Boys. You had, at the time, I don't know how the hell they pulled it off, but Jake the Snake Roberts against Rick Martel in a blindfold match. And that shit was funny as hell. Like, you gotta see that match. You have to see
pull
that
that
match.
off?
That shit is funny. Like, oh my god. And then you saw let me see who else was on that card. Whew, there were many matches in there. I can't even remember. But the main event, Undertaker and Jimmy Snuka. That's when Undertaker's undefeated streak began at WrestleMania.
That is when.
That's when everything began with the Undertaker.
That's when the Immortal Undertaker happened. But unfortunately, he's not immortal.
And then the main event was Sergeant Slaughter against Hulk Hogan for the WWE title.
Yep.
Sergeant Slaughter was part of Iraq. You know.
Oh yeah.
That's when he was heel, and Hulk Hogan was American hero. Won the title, 1, 2, 3. Fans went nuts, and then their rivalry went full throttle from there. In a house show, I remember I saw they had a Desert Storm match. No rules, no holds barred. They can use powder, they can use gasoline, all that shit from military, and it was a good match. It was an actual good match. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Check that match out.
I enjoy a boot camp match. No, it was a Desert Storm match. Actually, they had. I think it was a Desert Storm match, but the match was good. It was a good match. I enjoyed it, and their rivalry would be significant in professional wrestling. But Jaden, you know, in professional wrestling, things change.
Yep.
Times change. Hulk Hogan was on his way out the door. WrestleMania 8 was to signify, excuse me, his departure of professional wrestling. But that wasn't the case. Hulk Hogan fought Sid Justice in the main event. WrestleMania 8 was okay. You had great matches. You had Tito Santana against Shawn Michaels, which was an epic match.
Yep.
You had Roddy Piper against Bret Hart for the Intercontinental title.
I think I've seen that.
You had a lot of great matches. Ric Flair and Savage was a good match too for the WWE title. That one was a hell of a match. Go my son's godfather, my compadre, my brother, Kevin Nora, welcome. It was a really good card. They had the Macho Man and Jake the Snake and Undertaker also had a good match. There was a lot of stuff in. There was a lot of good matches in there.
Right.
Reba McIntyre sung the national anthem, but let me get a hell yeah!
So constipated.
And you say it.
No.
Then stop the whole tease then.
He's so constipated.
I don't care. Let me get a hell yeah.
You still sound constipated.
Shut up. So, WrestleMania 8. The problem with WrestleMania 8, everybody wanted to see the dream match. Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
But it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, I thought it really
It didn't happen. The Hogan match was botched. Of course it was botched.
Well, was it the same reason as normal? Because they didn't want to risk like losing their like career or something?
Well, he didn't want to lose.
Or like since they were like both top dogs or something, like they didn't want to put one over the other.
Hulk Hogan was supposed to win the match. He dropped the leg drop and Sid got up and it was house show Hogan versus Flair. No, but it was supposed to happen at WrestleMania 8, and it didn't.
It didn't.
That's what everybody was waiting for. WrestleMania 8.
I'm about to say a house show doesn't really count in my book.
No,
house show's a house show.
WrestleMania 8.
Nobody talks about those much.
And it was an okay event, but when we thought we saw the last of Hulk Hogan, nope. No, sorry, boy.
No, sorry.
He was actually at WrestleMania 9 at Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada, which was a pretty good card. You had The Undertaker against the Giant Gonzalez. You had, let me see, The Narcissist against Mr. Perfect. You had Shawn Michaels against the Tonka. Doink against Crush.
Doink.
And then in the main event, you had Yokozuna against Bret Hart. And Yokozuna won the WWE title.
Yep.
He won the WWE title.
And then
then comes Hulk Hogan. As I said, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of Hulk Hogan.
But he didn't need to interrupt.
But he screwed that shit up royally. Big time. Like
screwed it up so much it made that call.
Yeah. That's how bad it was. That it didn't work out. It didn't work out because you took the chance for a young Samoan at that age,
yeah,
winning against a top star,
right, Yeah, you did take that
You
away.
took his WrestleMania moment away. For what? Because you were back. Oh, my Hulk Hogan wants everything back. Sorry, I you're my man. I'm a fan, but I gotta call bullshit when bullshit is out there.
I mean, was
It should never
that
been done.
really Hulk Hogan's fault though?
Of
Like,
course it was. He had creative control.
He had creative, so that was. Oh, see, that's kind of messed
He
up.
had creative control.
Glad Yokozuna had another chance to hold the title. I'm glad he did too.
Yeah, and
Glad he did
but
too.
Hogan made up for it though. They fought at King of the Ring. Somebody interfered in the match, threw a fire on Hulk Hogan's eyes. He dropped on. He chopped him, play, and then Yokozuna came with the leg drop. Boom. And won the title 1, 2, 3.
That's good.
Which he deserved it.
Yes.
Because you took it away from him at WrestleMania. It was even better working with Hogan and having him beat a star as Hogan.
Yeah. At least the way he was big at the time. So.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
But before we finish our show tonight, wrestling fans, Jaden, I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
Out of all these 9 WrestleManias we spoke about, which to you was the best one?
Probably WrestleMania 3.
Why?
Well, you had the notorious Slam, with Andre and Hogan, and I'm pretty sure WrestleMania 3 was with Steamboat and Macho Man. And, like I said, it's a debatable WrestleMania match, but I'm not going to knock it and say that it was...
Christ.
I'm not going to knock it and
Best
say it was a
WrestleMania
bad,
match of all time.
No, it's debatable.
Thank you.
No, it's debatable.
No.
Yes.
Never.
Yes.
Never debatable.
It is very debatable.
Okay, continue.
But it was a good match. It's debatable.
I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, you did.
No.
I could see, I'm using my shot. I have my shotting gun. I could see.
Whatever.
It's
Continue.
debatable, but if you stop talking, I can continue.
Okay. Continue,
It
son.
was a good match, and the event was good overall. WrestleMania 3 was great. Okay, great.
Okay.
What do you think? That's not an answer.
I don't know. It's a toss-up between WrestleMania 3 and WrestleMania 7. Because WrestleMania 7 was good too. Mm-hmm. But WrestleMania 3 signified...
I'm about to say, it signified a lot of
It
things.
signified the passing of the torch of Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And Bradley says, I have to say, even between Savage and Warrior or Steamboat and Savage. Savage and Steamboat was amazing.
Savage and Steamboat was
Amazing. But this clown over here don't agree with me.
I didn't say it wasn't amazing. I just said it's debatable for being the best WrestleMania match. That's debatable.
Of all time.
Debatable.
Listen, we shall see. But anyway, wrestling fans, our time is up. Thank you for joining us for this exclusive 4-part series of the Legacy of Wrestlemania. This was part 1, and I had a blast.
Yep.
And WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 3 was, to me, out of those 9 WrestleManias, was the best.
Was the best.
And next week, we're actually going to be talking about 10 through 19, along with wrestling's top news all over professional wrestling. Also, this week's Monday Night Raw was pretty good, and SmackDown last week was pretty good. So WWE is going here and there, despite Sasha and Naomi walking out of the company. But thank you for joining us, wrestling fans. Tune in next week at 8 o'clock sharp again for part 2 of Legacy of WrestleMania, as we have WrestleMania 10 through WrestleMania 19. We will bring you the moments, the matches, the moment that the ladder match was changed forever. The moment in 20 years in the making when Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan finally battled. The moment when Stone Cold finally joined Vince McMahon. The moment when Brock Lesnar nearly killed himself at WrestleMania 19.
It's not funny.
All that and more on next week's show.
You said it.
On Evolution of Pro Wrestling. As we say, no politics, no bullshit, straight pro wrestling. Thank you.
Sounds like you
From myself, Lewis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
Sounds like you just gave a teaser for a Dragon Ball show, but and this is Jay, the heel kid of pro wrestling.
Thank you, fans, for joining us. Tune in next week, 8 p.m. sharp.